This is Unit 9 notes. This is logic and reasoning. So Section 1 is conjectures and counterexamples. Alright, so this chapter is very unique, very different. Some might say it's your favorite one. We'll see. I don't know. Alright, first part is conjectures. So it says examples. Use inductive reasoning to find the next three values, then write a conjecture. Inductive reasoning just means finding a pattern, and a conjecture is just an unproven conclusion, something you think might be true, but you aren't exactly sure. You can't quite prove it 100%, but you think it's like a hypothesis. Like, I think this is right. That's all that is. Alright, so let's do this. So number one, I got to figure out the pattern. I'm trying to find that's inductive reasoning. Find the pattern. Okay, so this one's a little easy. If I go from the first one to the second one, I'm adding 101. Okay, I go from 202 to 303, I'm also adding 101. Okay, so that's my pattern. So my pattern is, so I'm going to go ahead and write that. My conjecture, my conclusion I think is going on, is I'm adding 101 to each number. Okay. Now, once I have my conjecture, my pattern I think is going on, I use that and find the next three values. So if I add 101 to 404, I would get 505, and then I would get 606, and then 707. And that's what I'm doing. Now, of course, I started off easy because it's numbers, but if you see, a lot of this chapter doesn't deal with numbers. So some of you might be excited, right? Some of you may not. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, number 2, SFTW. Now, you're going to have to look at this and try and figure out what it is, what the pattern is, what's going on. Okay? If you want to think about it for a minute, you can go ahead and hit pause, try and figure it out. If you think you got it, great. If not, that's okay. It's actually, it's Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So it's the weeks or days of the week backwards. Okay, so my conjecture is days of the week backwards, however you want to word that. Okay, so then my next three values would be Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, right? And that's it for number 2. 3, this one might be a lot easier. NESWN. Okay, so that's what, north, east. Oh wow, I spelled that wrong. A, south, west, north. Okay, so again, how you word these, there's not necessarily a 100% one correct way to word them. It's just as long as what you say makes sense to the pattern, that's okay. So these are what compass directions in clockwise. So I'm going to put clockwise compass directions. Okay, so I'm going in a clockwise manner. I'm going directions on a compass. So my next three would be E, S, W. Okay, and that's it for A, conjectures. Okay, some of these might be a little challenging, but that's the point on the homework or the assignment. Again, this is probably something you've never done. I would definitely recommend practicing this. Okay, the second thing for today is counterexamples. So it says, examples, determine if the following are true or false. If false, provide a counterexample. A counterexample is simply an example that proves something to be false. That's all it is. So let's look at this. Number 4. There are only 4 vowels in the alphabet. Okay, that's true or false. If it's false, we have to prove or provide an example as to why it would be false. How many vowels are there? Well, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so A, E, I, O, U. Well, that's 5. Because that's 5 vowels, this statement would actually be false, and our counterexample would just be listing out the vowels to show there are 5. And that's all you do on that one. If it said there were 5 vowels in the alphabet and there are 5, you would just put true. You would not need a counterexample. So if it's true, you don't have to put anything. Only if it's false do you have to put something to show why it's false. Okay, number 5. Texas is the second largest state by size in the U.S. Well, if you know geography, that is a true statement. Alaska is number 1. Texas is number 2. Because it's true, I don't have to provide a counterexample, and I am done with that. And that's it for today.